Hi guys, it's Clarice, and today we are going to do a quick tutorial on how to do loose florals like this. This is inspired by these guys that I had done right, right before I started this Sunday's live, and I was just kind of practicing to kind of get feel for the brush, and then I ended up doing this, if you guys remember, with the banner. And then this week I've just been feeling like really practicing those florals, so I kind of practice a bit additional here and there. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys how to do this because I've had quite a few of you ask me how to do the light versions of these peonies or blooms, whatever you want to call them. And I did a couple just to see how it worked out, and they're lovely. So I've decided to make a tutorial and show you guys. So let's get started. I am using my Canson watercolor paper, and my brushes, I am going to be using the Silver Black Velvet in the 4, my mop brush in the 1, and the Princeton Neptune in the 8. And let's see, for colors, I have my water ready, I have my paper towel ready. For colors, I'm going to be using a brown, like a brownie green as well, because I want to get those nice loose leaves. I'm just going to keep this here while I'm talking about colors. And you can feel free to use a yellow, yellow, orange, pink, purple, because those are the nice soft colors that you can kind of create such florals in. Or if you want to use a blue even, sure, why not? So let's get started. I am going to quickly mix some color that I have, and I just want to explain this to you very briefly before we begin. The first thing we do is we create the petal that is to the background, which is this one right here. And then once we've done that, we do the sides, and we kind of create the inner petal that kind of closes the circle up. And then once that's done, you have this nice little cut floral. Then we do the outer petals that are flaring out from it. So it's going to require a bit of practice because it's all about blending the colors and the water to color consistency ratio, blah, blah, blah. So try it once, try it twice, keep trying, keep practicing. That's how you'll get better. So I'm going to start right away. What I like to do is pre-prep the colors so that I have them handy. And once I have them handy, then it's just easy for me to kind of dip in without losing any kind of dampness that I might need for blending colors nicely. So I'm just going to go with the purple for now. So I'm mixing a little bit of purple that I already had on my palette, and then I'm just going to get some of the pinky, which is the quinacridone rose from the Daniel Smith. So I have that mixed up already from colors that I've used previously. So I'm just going to get my Squirrel Mop brush, and I have enough of color on there right now. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the back petal. So how I do that is by just pressing down and just kind of creating that shape and moving the color downward. So just like that. All right, now this might seem like there's a little bit too much water pooling. So just feel free to kind of take your paper towel, go in and just blend it. And just put that back in there again. So it gives you a nice variation. And then now once I have this, I'm gonna go in with my number 8. Here's another way to kind of get rid of some of the color if you feel like it's too much. Just water on it, and I'm just going to swipe down to get any excess color off. because while the paper towel worked, I still felt like it took off a bit too much, and I want it to be just so. So this is how I really want it to be. And now I'm going to create the side strokes for side petals, and they're just literally just basic strokes. And then we want to do the inner versions of those. So again, if you feel like there's too much, just take your and just wipe it off. All right. And then once I have done that, I'm just going to make sure I have like just a touch of the purple, because we want it to be a lot lighter than what we have going on there. So I'm going to try and make sure that it's not intensely purple like that. And then we want to do this. And we're just kind of like creating almost like a barrier. And you're just kind of lightly doing strokes that kind of from up go down. And pushing all the color down to the bottom. Now again, I feel like the color is just as intense as the other one. So just take this brush of yours and go and swipe out some colors, creating that nice light and dark in between. And maybe even spreading it out a bit. And then once you have that done, you can even kind of take a more intense purple and just kind of add some at the bottom in areas where it's still damp. All right. And then we're going to do the outer florals, the petals, I mean. So I'm just going to start from outside in. And then the same thing here. So I did one there, one here, and then one here. And leave white space so that it is nice and airy. Doesn't have to be all like colored in. And I'm just adding more strokes to the side and to the top, because I have like a nice lighter purple going on. And then once I've done that, I'm just gonna touch these a little bit better so that they're nice and blended in. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just taking the Neptune and I'm going to get a slight variation in my purple, and I just want to add, with just a slight intensity, I want to add strokes of that purple in here. And I just want to do it in certain areas to highlight and create like a separation almost, so you can tell what's where. And then you can just make sure by taking water and just blending it, you don't get any harsh lines. And then the same thing here, but I want to move the color on the inside, okay? So just do that. Same thing here. And the colors kind of meet in this area. And then I'll just do one sweep to give it like a cup feel. Well, that was more than one sweep, but try and make it one sweep instead of going over it like me. And then again, do the swiping off with just water on your brush for areas where you want it to be defined. So like here, I'm just going to kind of go in and add these little swipes so it looks different. Now once that is done, I'm just going to go in with my, actually using the Neptune again, I'm just going to get some of the yellow, and I want to add some yellow just at the tip because this is the center. And given that it's still pretty damp, it's giving me a nice blend, which I like. And then I'm just going to go dip into my brown with my number 4, and I'm just going to add tiny dots. And some of it is hitting the yellow, some of it isn't. You want to get that nice blend and balance of dark and light. You can even wait for it to dry some more before going back in and getting some more darker points, dots, whatever you want to call it. I'm just wiping off this blend of brown that happened here. And you can even maybe add some of the yellow in other areas on it, on the floral if you wish. But yeah, you're essentially just kind of playing around to make it work for you. And then from here you can go into your nice floral leaves. And for that, I'm just going to be using some of the green. I told you I have some nice forest green, I think. It's like a brown mixed with green. And I'm just mixing it with some other lighter greens that I have floating around. And what I'm going to do is just using my Neptune, I'm just gonna create very loose florals. So, sorry, greenery. So literally just going up, dragging down. And then I want some nice other blends of color happening. So I'm just going to put in some purple as well, because this is like that really loosey, abstract kind of feel that I want for this floral. And if you feel, again, like you feel like it's too much, just take your paper towel, wipe stuff off. And just be very loose with your strokes. Same thing here, I'm just going to do some over here as well. So I've done the same thing. So I've literally like added some leaves. You can either take another brush, use the same brush, wipe off the color, go back in with just water, and it gives you like a really nice soft blend. And go back in with another green and just kind of have things trail off. Like that, like I've given it like a flare at the bottom. And I can probably do something at the top over here as well. So just kind of going in. You know, and give it shape, give it movement. And it really makes a massive difference to your painting in general when you kind of just let things, leave things to the imagination almost. So like I was saying, as we're nearing the end of this tutorial, that the basics of doing painting, loose painting in this style is you have to let it go, especially when you feel like, oh, maybe it's not heading in the direction I wanted it to. Because as you continue and move along with the painting, you might just realize that it's exactly the way you wanted it to be, or even better than you initially planned. So keep that in mind, and I say continue practicing. This is not easy. It's a quick tutorial. I did say that in the beginning, but this is not an easy method to kind of nail down, especially if you're not very familiar with watercolor and how it flows and stuff like that. So try it once, try it twice, keep trying it, and I'm just going to continue and finish this floral and make it something more whole. So thanks so much guys for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought. And if you've tried it, I'd love to see your work. If you guys found this helpful, please do share this video on your social media channels and circles. It really does help boost my channel as well, and allows me the time to kind of create more beautiful videos for you guys and put it out there for free. So thanks so much guys, and again, if you want to follow me, I'm available on Instagram and Facebook. Links are below. Thanks guys.